In this video, we are going to discuss data publishing and archiving for reproducibility and reuse. In many data science workflows, the last step is oftentimes generating a report or publication, but a final important step may be overlooked: archiving the data or other generated materials, code or software, in a way where you can be sure it will be safe for the future, cited, and potentially reused by others. And the best practice for how to store your data and make it available to others is via an archival repository. So we have been talking thus far about code repositories that are used for version control and file distribution via social coding hubs, like GitHub. This is a great model for your active workflow when you are versioning your files and want to collaborate with others. However, preserving the computational artifacts from formal academic works requires a repository that has a longer horizon and is focused on the persistent access to what we call the compendium, which is your data, code, and documentation that actually underlies your scholarly results. So there are different types of archival repositories. Some serve very specific disciplines or data types and may be maintained by a scholarly association, research project, or funding agency. There are also general repositories that will take data from any discipline and in any data type, for instance, Dryad, Zenodo, and Dataverse. Many institutions, such as Duke, also host institutional research data repositories. Choosing a repository will depend on the needs of your project, but generally a repository should help make your data more fair. FAIR is a set of guiding principles for the stewardship of scientific data. It stands for findable, accessible, interoperable, and reusable. A few things repositories may do to help make data fair include: for findable and accessible, assigning a digital object identifier, or DOI. This is a persistent identifier that helps ensure people can access a digital artifact regardless of technical changes, such as URLs changing. For interoperable, supporting the use of open file formats or standardized languages and vocabularies for describing your data via metadata. For reusable, assigning a standard license, such as a Creative Commons license or waiver, to allow others to understand how they can reuse your materials, and include rich attributes describing the data via metadata or documentation, so others can interpret your processes and data contents. So, by publishing your data in a repository and receiving a DOI, you also make your data a citable object. Identifiers are powerful tools to distinguish your work for tracking and reporting purposes. However, before publishing your data in a repository, you should consider any legal or ethical reasons that might limit your ability to make your materials public. This often comes up if you are using secondary data, so data you did not collect or generate. For instance, if you are doing text or data mining, you'll need to check the terms of use before disseminating that data. Or if you're working with human participants' data or other data with sensitivities. Protecting people, places, or animals is core to performing research with integrity. Another challenge you may encounter is based on the volume of the data from data science projects, which may actually limit your repository options. So, completing this final step in the reproducible project pyramid may require some extra work to prepare your materials for an external audience. But in the end, it will demonstrate a commitment to open research practices, increase your reach and impact for your project, and align with data sharing requirements from both funding agencies and journals. If you need help finding an appropriate repository for your data, we encourage you to reach out to data librarians or other data management specialists at your institution.